Hey guys, Aaron here. Welcome to the fourth part of my Mario Kart Wii playthrough series. So far, I think I've been doing okay. So, onto the fourth cup now, the Banana Cup. So, let's go straight for 150cc. And I'm going to change things up slightly. So, the previous video I did use the Koopa Trooper. Going to go with Toad this time. Don't get me wrong, I know there's not really much in it between them both, but I guess I used these characters in previous Mario Kart games, and they do have good acceleration, so why not? So we're on to the Banana Cup now, which does feature retro courses, so I'm kind of looking forward to playing through these, I guess. So the first one is, of course, the N64 Sherbet Land. Now, I wasn't really the biggest fan of Mario Kart 64. I guess I just had a bit of an issue with the size of the tracks. When I mean the size of the tracks, I don't mean the length of them, I mean the width, because they seem very wide. Now, coming from Mario Kart on the Super Nintendo, those tracks seem to be much more tight, especially Ghost House Valley, Bowser's Castle, stuff like that. There were a lot of tight corners, and I think it suited the game really well. Whereas this game, Mario Kart 64, I don't know, it just kind of loses something there. Sherbet Land is probably one of the better ice levels, I guess, overall. I guess I much more prefer it than the ice level you do get in Mario Kart 8. Is it much different over the original N64 one? Probably not. There might be a few differences, but it's been so long since I played that game, I wouldn't know. I do like the fact Nintendo did put a few little Easter eggs in it. So you do get the mum and baby penguin from Mario 64. And a few other random penguins as well. So maybe she had a few more babies kicking around. Don't know. But apart from that, Mario 64, I might have said it before, it was really all about the multiplayer, and if you're looking at that aspect, it was a great game. I mean, for a first, you know, Nintendo actually stuck 4 joypad controllers onto the console. So a lot of the N64 games you could play in 4-player, and I really do think that made a big difference to the console, really. So many great multiplayer games, including Mario Kart 64. I just wish maybe some of the tracks were a bit more memorable. That's all. A lot of them still stand up, I guess, and do show up in other Mario Kart games. So I think I might quickly just hold that red shell behind me, just in case someone fires something. This is typically the moment where someone would then fire a blue shell at me, so I really want to be a bit more careful here. And I think we're just coming up to the last stretch. Hopefully... Oh, great. Just what I wanted. Oh, I couldn't even use the red shell there. Typical. So, second place to start with. I don't think that's too bad. I can definitely make a comeback from that. Shy Guy Beach from the Game Boy Advance Mario Kart Super Circuit. Again, I guess Mario Kart Super Circuit perhaps is one of the most least played Mario Kart games. That's not good. When I originally got that game on my Game Boy Advance, I really enjoyed it more because it seemed to be like a throwback to the original Mario Kart. And the best thing was, it was great when I discovered that you could actually unlock all of the Super Nintendo tracks. It did things slightly different, so it did cut down the amount of tracks per cup, but it was a great game, and they really did update the graphics a little bit. It was very tricky, especially coming from Mario Kart 64, but I would say I much more enjoyed the Game Boy Advance version over the N64 game. Shy Guy Beach isn't a bad course, so I guess it is pretty much loosely based on Cooper Beach, things like that. Pretty standard course really, just hopping across a bridge. Must continue to use the little turbo boost as well, keep forgetting about that. Again though, Mario Kart Super Circuit had some great levels, and as I said on a bit earlier on this video actually, I always liked like the Bowser Castle courses, and the Game Boy Advance game definitely had a few of those, and it was just a great little collection of tracks. Some of them did end up getting remade obviously in Mario Kart Wii, and I think in Mario Kart 7 and 8 there might be one or two in there too. If not, they were in the DLC. But it was all good. It was all good. Third place. This is going slightly wrong so far. Second place still, but I really need to do a bit better next race. If anyone bought a Nintendo 3DS when it originally came out, it was quite expensive, and after a few months it wasn't doing that well, so Nintendo did drop the price. Anyone that did buy a 3DS before then got a set of Ambassador games, or at least in the UK, and Mario Kart Super Circuit was one of them, so that was one way of getting the game again. So Delfino Square as well. I love this course. I was so disappointed when it didn't show up in Mario Kart 8 though. If I remember correctly, and someone leave a comment if I'm wrong here, but I think it did show up in Mario Kart 7. Not too sure on that though. Let's throw that bomb real quick. But Mario Kart DS, I think was a great game. I spent so many hours with it, especially as it was the first one as well to have online multiplayer, which was great until everyone started snaking. If anyone used to play that game online, you must feel my frustration. If you could find a race where no one was snaking, it was great, but as soon as you had someone snaking, it was pretty much game over. Finally get to use the power block there. Hopefully that helped. Well, for a second anyway. And Delfino Square is a good one. I mean, this update actually looks really good. There is a shortcut to the left just where I drove past. Apart from that, I guess the track looks pretty much the same. Definitely looks nicer though. So I think I might just waste them, I guess. And of course, if you have a mushroom, you can just use it to get across that area there. Hopefully I'm just going to be able to drag that mushroom until another item block comes up. The AI is definitely increasing slightly. I was going to say, to me it seemed a little bit easy on 150cc, but I think we're all good here. I'm going to drop that and drag the shell for a second anyway. There is of course two routes through this area. I don't really know if one's quicker than the other. I always stuck to the left, and if I can pull it off I'm going to take the other. I guess it is a shortcut if you have a mushroom, because the ground isn't great here, but that was probably actually a bad idea. Just drag that behind me. Typical. So I might just make this. Perfect. So hopefully that'll get me a little bit closer to that first place. Just 1 point in it. That's what I like to see. Waluigi Stadium from the GameCube. I think I recall this one. Great start. So there has actually been quite a few tracks throughout the Mario Kart franchise, I guess. that has this similar design. Most of them being Wario tracks though, I guess. So you did get one in the N64. There is also one in DS, Mario Kart 8 as well. And I've always kind of enjoyed them, as long as I kind of stay off of the off-road areas anyway. Let's quickly use that mushroom. It was actually quite recently I went back to playing Double Dash for a little bit, just to see what it was like. And graphically, I mean, the game isn't that much different than this one. I guess the Wii and the GameCube did share similar architecture between the consoles, I guess. But Double Dash is quite a fun one. And it really did make the game feel slightly different with the whole double driver mechanics and being able to hold 2 items. Which was quite good when in Mario Kart 8 DX. Or Mario Kart 8 for that matter. No, sorry, DX, when you did actually get the double item blocks. But unlike Double Dash, you couldn't actually switch between them, which could be a right pain. That is one thing I do wish that Mario Kart 8 DX did. Just give you the ability to swap between items if you wish. When Nintendo actually did announce the DX version, I did think that we might get double drivers like in Double Dash. I'm doing terrible at that corner. But no, it wasn't meant to be, so just the 2 items. Right, lap 3. As long as Cooper isn't in first, I should have this in the bag. Let's fire that red shell quick. Definitely some mushrooms would help by taking some shortcuts here, but being in the top 3, I seriously doubt I'm going to be given any mushrooms. Might just drop that there. I'm sure on the DS version of this game that you could actually wipe the screen to get rid of the ink. And yeah, any other version you can't do that, which is a bit of a pain. Every time at that corner. Perfect. So about, what, 6 points in it? So there we go, another trophy to add to the collection, I guess. So that is Banana Cup done. I will be back soon as well with another video in the series. It'll be great to see you back. Maybe leave some comments down below as well. Did you enjoy this video as well? If you are new to the channel as well, maybe consider subscribing. And yeah, maybe give the video a thumbs up as well. That would be great. In any case, I'm going to leave you to it. Thanks for watching.